Good morning from Sacred Space. It's 10:54 a.m. on the 29th of February 2024, which, as you all know, is a leap year. And because it's a leap year, for some reason I don't have any writings in my vocal media of even date, which is bizarre, because I'm sure things have happened on the 29th of February and other 4-yearly intervals. Anyway, today I will be making my own stories and my own versions of reality, as I do every day. I don't live in your world, you live in mine. It's lovely here, the weather's nice, a little bit too hot, but in my world it would be just a lovely, even 24 degrees all year round, but that's not fair on the ecosystem that relies on 4 seasons, so I won't be greedy and I won't be selfish. So why am I making this video? Today, this morning, I woke up from a very unusual dream. I've dreamt a similar theme before. I think I mentioned it a few days ago about being in an apartment that I don't recognise, a very large apartment with lots of bedrooms, all the beds made up ready for guests or people to, that may want to sleep there. And but in this dream, I felt like it was a New York apartment or perhaps in Paris. It was a very old worldy style building, and the interior was very old but sort of quaint, and there were lots of bedrooms, 5 or 6 bedrooms. And so I'm looking around my apartment, and in the dream I'm older than I am now. I look like I was in my 70s, which is an astonishing thought, that I might live to my 70s. I'm sure the dream doesn't mean that I'm going to live that long though. It's just what they were showing me in the dream, they being my subconscious or my higher mind in the spirit world. Anyway, so I'm standing there and I'm in the dream. I'm talking to 2 women. One seemed to be like a social worker or carer type person looking after me, chatting to me. She actually did have a conversation with me about, how you're going and how you're managing on your own and blah, blah, blah. And I was responding to that. And there was another woman there who was cleaning the apartment. But we were both standing in the living room, I think it was, talking. And next thing I know, there's a knock at the door. So I go to the door, and the dream even showed me, ambling my little old lady gait that I already have now when I'm overly tired. And so I shuffle over to the door and I open the door, and this very young, very handsome man, probably in his late 20s, early 30s, all, very fine figure, all buff, all, what's the word? Wonderful abs, all stacked, just pushes him past me into my apartment. So I turn to him a bit astonished and I say to him, "Hello, who are you?" Because clearly I didn't know him. And he says to me, "I'm moving in." I said, "Excuse me? I don't even know you. Who are you?" He said, "It's okay," he says. "I'm gay and I'm moving in and I'm going to help look after you." I said, "Well, do you think you could introduce yourself to me first? I don't know you from Adam." I said, "What a chutzpah, storming into my house in this way." Anyway, he proceeds to walk through my apartment. It wasn't a house, it was a big, very large apartment. I don't know what floor I was on. They didn't tell me that. But anyway, so I shuffle along behind him. He strides very determinedly, looking at each room. He gets to the last bedroom, which had a very large bed and a window looking out onto the street. And he said, this room will do." I went, "What?" He said, "Yeah, this will be my room." And he turns to me, he said, I need somewhere to live. I've just got kicked out of my house across the road. I'm in danger. See all those cars lined up out the front? I said, yes. He said, I'm hiding from them. I'm thinking, all right, I've got a right Wally here. Or I might actually be telling the truth. One can never tell in a dream, right? Sometimes you can't tell in real life either. So anyway, so I look at him very prosaically, and I said, but this is my home and you're invading my home. He said, look, it's a good situation. You'll love me and I'll love you, but I'm gay, so you won't be under any sexual threat, he says. And I'll look after you in return for you providing me a roof over my head. So I thought about it, did a little shrug, went, okay. Didn't give me his name, still didn't get his name in the dream. I said, as long as you're not a psycho and a weirdo and you can live with me in harmony, then okay. After I have all these empty rooms, I said to him. How he knew I had empty rooms, I have no idea, but anyway. So I go back out to the living room, and the cleaning woman and the care woman, the carer, or the, I don't know what she was, social worker, looked at me and she said, you can't just let some stranger march into your house and declare that they're going to live with you, Tanya. I said, well, actually, what have I got to lose at this stage of life? I'm dying anyway, I said to her. She nodded. She said, but you've been dying a long time, Tanya. I said, I know, it's a long death, so at the end of the day, might be fun to have somebody around says he's going to look after me a bit. And I guess I figured if he became a problem, I'd just get the police to remove him, right? So I wasn't too concerned. So I said, he seems like a nice enough fellow, and he needs help, I said. So I'm in a position where I sit here all alone in this big apartment. I said, so help he shall have until such time as, he becomes a nuisance or things get weird. If they do, if they don't, he can stay here for a while. So the woman looked at me like it was the most normal conversation to be having in the world and nodded. And the cleaning lady nodded. And then I woke up just in time for my own cleaning lady that's sent by Islamic Women's Association, my care workers, to come and clean for me, right? So she says to me, she arrived, she says, how are you? I said, I'm very tired. Had another bad night, didn't get much sleep. But when I did sleep, I slept deeply, thank the God. So I feel a little bit more refreshed this morning than I was yesterday. But in the day before, I felt like hell, absolute hell. But I'm going with my friend Peter to visit his, she's reached the point where she's non-verbal and bedbound now, so she's dying. Don't know how long it'll take for her to die, but he must be worried that the time is imminent because he wanted me to come and see her, which is, it's good, it's the right thing. I get to see her, and I'm happy about that. So perhaps that's partly what triggered the dream, all these I said to Rati, my cleaning lady, I said, in the Christian religion, Jesus said, my Father's house is many mansions, meaning there are many dimensions in heaven. And I said, I keep having this repeat dream of this massive big apartment with lots of bedrooms, which I said, at that age of life, I would not need a place with 6 bedrooms, would I? It's a bit strange, very strange, 5 or 6 bedrooms. And so, yeah, it's talking about dimensionality and expansion of space, and let's hope in the physical it's, you know, that I'm not being made to move house or something like that. So I certainly wouldn't get a place with 6 bedrooms, that's for sure, unless I won lotto. And even then I wouldn't buy a place with 6 bedrooms because I'm on my own. What would I need a place with 6 bedrooms for? So that's got me a bit confused about the dream messaging, about the showing me owning a place with so many large bedrooms. So anyway, yesterday was a very productive day, and then I lost the earring that I was making the little heart charms for. So I'm annoyed about that, and I've said to Rati she'll probably find it for me, as often is the case. The fairies play tricks on me sometimes and hide things from me when I'm in the middle of a job. All the jewelers watching my videos will be laughing right now because it happens to all of us. We'll be in the middle of a project and just one little component will disappear, or you know, a gem will fall on the floor and you've got to crawl all over the floor looking for that. And it's part of working with tiny things, right? But this is quite a big piece of earring that I lost. I don't know how that could be, because I would have had them side by side when I started making the little charms. And it's funny that one went missing because it's a calaca from Mexico earring with 2 skeletons dancing passionately together doing the tango, right? And so my little trickster fairy people decided to hide one of the earrings from me just to let me know that they're around, probably. So that's nice. That's St. Anthony, and whichever fairy that disappeared with that earring, I would like it back, and with great gratitude, ASAP, so I can finish putting them together and wear them or put them away in my jewellery collection, because it's my own personal earrings that I was updating. They had little sacred hearts on the bottom of them, you know, for the voodoo mythology, or the bruja type mythology in Mexico. But they were cast in some sort of tin or aluminium, and I didn't like it, so I decided to remake it in sterling silver, which I did do yesterday. Worked on them till 9 o'clock, and only then did I discover that one earring had gone missing in the process of me working on it. So very, very irritating and annoying. But yes, I failed at casting them because I tried to do 2 at the same time, and I know what I did wrong. There wasn't enough. I should have made a much bigger sprue joining into them, and so the metal could go rushing into it. And I know what I did wrong, so I can hopefully resolve that if I try to make them again in the casting. But in the meantime, I've made them out of sterling silver sheet and sawed them out and domed them and stamped the design into it as best as I could. So I'm getting better. I'm getting more confidence with my skills. I mean, to be fair, I think it's still a little bit amateurish, but that's just me being a harsh critic on myself. I'm getting better and they look quite lovely. So, yes, I'm very happy with my new skills and my new abilities. I wonder what other new skills and abilities I might discover about myself. So that's my video today. I haven't got a lot to say because I don't have my readings to glean from, which is disappointing. Went to bed at 11 last night and I was still thrashing about lying in bed. My mind went on fire, even though I was utterly exhausted. So it's funny, only after I posted on Facebook that I'm having trouble sleeping did I then pass out around about 1 a.m, which is kind of hilarious. It was after 1 a.m because I wrote at 1:11, make a wish. I wish I could sleep. So it would have been about 1:30 I went to sleep. Thank goodness. Oh my goodness. And I'm like a child. I can only go to sleep after I've told the whole entire world on the internet that I'm struggling to sleep. It's almost like my brain needs permission. Okay, you've told someone now you can sleep. It's very childlike. Don't know what that's about. I've been like that for quite some years. So, yes, and I woke up at 7, wide awake, needing to pee. So I did that, and then I put myself back to bed because I knew I was still tired, and did fall asleep again and woke up at 9:45, just before Rati arrived. So that was good timing, and the reason I woke up was I needed to pee again. So yeah, anyway, this constant being a flooding, cascading piece of plumbing is getting on my nerves, especially when it happens during the night a lot, so it's exhausting. But last night wasn't too bad. The previous nights have been very, very bad. But anyway, so this afternoon I'll be visiting my friend Elsa, basically, maybe for the last time, one never knows, but I'll be visiting her with her son Peter. And then tomorrow night I'm going dancing with my friend Laura, and she's got a little tiny tot about to turn 3, so she doesn't get out much, so it'll do her the power of good, you know, young woman. I think she's 39 or 40. Anyway, it'll do her the power of good to go out and let her head down and dance, and hopefully she meets someone nice. But you know, that's not what we're going out for. We're just going out to have a ladies' night out together and have fun together and dance, and yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. But you never know. I often meet people in the club, but they're all too young for me, so they might be suitable for her, you know, because she's much younger than I. So you never know. The magic might really happen, babies, as it does unexpectedly. The main magic we create, well, I create, is I dance wildly and joyously and triumphantly and defiantly against my entire life and our paradigm, and then go home exhausted. That's the magic, and it's very therapeutic for me personally, and it inspires the younger ones that they can be their own version of triumph and wildness, you know, as long as they're not harmful or nasty to anyone else, especially me. It goes down very lovely. I was telling Rati about all the young men in recent months that approached me and told me all their worries and problems. One even cried in front of me and I had to comfort him. And another one was telling me that his mum, that he was a mistake, and then he proceeded to tell me that his mum had, you know, was on heroin when she had him, and joined the Jehovah's Witness religion and raised him in that religion. I said, well, that's actually good. That's better than being on the streets and on heroin. I said, so she chose you. You weren't a mistake. She chose you and chose to bring you up in a safe, well, we all know what goes on in that religion along with all the other religions in the world, but hopefully a safe environment. He said, yes, it was all lovely until I came out as gay and then I got kicked out of the church. I said, what did your mother do? He said, she left the church with me. I said, then she chose you twice because she's your mother, and love is love is love. and that was a very courageous thing to do, leave your entire safety net of a church and to be with your son. I said, so you were no mistake, my darling. You were chosen not once but twice. He looked at me, uplifted his spirit. So yes, sometimes I'm there and drunk people will tell you their life histories, as drunk people sometimes do, usually to the bartenders, but they gravitate to me as, I guess, the older woman in the club. And I was telling Rati, a lot of them are like the last young man last weekend. You look like my mom. I really did. He showed me a photo of her. We were twins, almost a doppelganger. It's quite astonishing. So I'm getting a lot of these young men approaching me for the mummy energy, the mum energy, which is kind of hilarious and delightful since my own children have abandoned me, my adult children. So I'm being kind of co-opted or adopted as everyone's mom, which is funny because one of my personas or nicknames I gave myself quite some years ago was Mama T. Mama T can be quite fierce though, because she's a mother, she's an earth mother goddess. Never fuck with the Tanya or the Mama T, just saying. But anyway, I don't go around mothering everyone. I go around doing my wild shamanic dance, and if they come up and cry about their mums, and I tell them how it really is, like the young one last week, I told him to be kind to his mother because life is short and we've all been traumatised as a society, and of course his mum's probably devastated. He's just come back to live in Australia and she's stuck there in America. Of course she'd be grief-stricken. But kids don't think about that, They live in the now and they can be quite selfish. So anyway, his mum Maureen and I are on Instagram now. I haven't messaged her or communicated with her, but he wanted us to be on each other's Instagram because we look like twins. Hilarious. So there's lots of butterflies in my garden this morning. I'm just watching. I had one of those blue butterflies before with the triangular wings that almost look like kites that you fly in the sky. Gorgeous. And over there's a big black one with white spots. He's a massive big butterfly. And so the kookaburras will be busy eating their caterpillars, which I'm okay with, as long as they leave at least enough for us to still get butterflies. The caterpillars have just about decimated my grape vines as they do every year, but you've seen me in the videos going, go on Cookie, eat those caterpillars. They thoroughly enjoyed it too. So everything is the cycle of life. It's sacred space and perfect harmonic resonance. And Mama T, the Tanya, the psychedelic dreamer, Miss Five, needs to find her own harmonic resonance and her own man. But I do not invite people frottering on my videos on YouTube, by the way. It's not appropriate and creeps me out, especially since I did engage with one last year and it was another time waster. So I realised that a lot of the men, not all, but a lot that watch my videos, some of them are just fetishists, and I don't know. I don't even know why they subscribe or why they're on my page, but it's all very sweet and endearing and lovely that you think you love me based on you listening to my true life histories. But it's just not 3D reality until it's 3D reality, and for it to be 3D reality, I need to be inviting you into my world, my sacred space. And for reasons that if you bother to actually take notice of any of my videos and what I'm actually talking about, child sexual abuse, domestic violence abuse survivor, strangulation survivor, rape survivor, if you've got half a brain, you'd work out why I'm very wary and very circumspect about meeting new male potential friends and or partners. It's not rocket science, people, why I am very prickly and brittle and sometimes can be quite downright mean if I think you're violating my spiritual, physical, mental space. So there is that. Anyway, I mean, just ask any male in the club how good it goes for them if they approach me and try and lay their hand on me straight away. They get swatted like flies very, very quickly. So if you're on the internet having those same thoughts, consider yourself virtually fly swatted or cold teaspooned in the most profound way. Energy is energy, people. Mama T has spoken. Anyway, on that note, I'm being very defensive and building fences around myself, as one needs to do to protect one's energy centers, meridians, body, mind and spirit. So it's perfectly acceptable what I'm doing. I bid you goodbye. Have a beautiful day on planet Earth. Love is the law, but love needs to be protected and defended like a rare and precious orchid. Don't stomp all over it or trample it and destroy it. It's a beautiful thing, but it needs to be preciously guarded, just like the truth, which is another form and expression of love. Bye for now from Sacred Space at Titania's Realm.